locked into that, getting to her early, taking her out of her popping threes, and very aggressive with her within her sweet spots.
And then just anything to explain how or why this team sort of switched in terms of the three ball. Any more sort of concentration, or is it as simple as when you see just a couple of go in, then everybody kind of feels a little bit better about that?
Or law of averages, whichever one. You know, the adages, the basketball adages. I think we had a day that we did some rep shooting, and we talk about the time that we have for preparation with practice days. I think it's important to get that rhythm, but also with this team, it is like 3 points and seeing the ball goes through the rim is contagious. And we had multiple possessions of very good shot selection and very good passing to get our open threes. But also, I think it was the rhythm that we had from our defensive presence. And those were rhythm threes and not contested, not out of sorts. It just was kind of like being in the gym this week and getting those shots in.
Let's go over to Kevin Pelton. Kevin?
First, do you have an update on Stewie's after she left the game?
Yeah, right now it's a left foot injury, and we're waiting to get further evaluation.
Do you feel like, I mean, you talked about this in terms of the three-point shooting, but just in general, to see a dominant performance like this is helpful for the team's psyche after the Olympic break?
Definitely. For psyche, for morale, for everything. Winning sometimes is a cure. Though sometimes maybe within wins you don't learn a lot of things. Sometimes your losses are more of your lessons. But for this particular team, I think in this moment, it's just super helpful because they've stayed the course. They've not gotten down. The vibe, the spirit, the everything, the intangibles, like they have that. And so it's like they deserve like a good feel, win or lose. Like we talk about playing better, and this is what that looks like and feels like. And I think for our team right now, for our mental, our psyche, it is important.
All right, we'll open it up to questions from our Zoom group. Let's go with M. Adler. M, why don't you open us up?
Hey, Coach. First question, just wanted to ask, when it gets to that size of a blowout in the game for that much time, at what point on the sidelines do you just sort of maybe just coach a little bit less, just stand back and say, it looks like they got it?
Sorry, Em, we're having a little issue with the audio here. Give me just a sec. I'll try to fix it. And why don't you try your question again real quick?
We good? Does that work?
Still a little quiet. I'll try to relay your question.
You want me to type it? I'll type it.
No, go ahead and ask a question. I'll just relay it to Coach.
Oh, okay. So, basically just like at what point in that sort of extremeness of a blowout from the sidelines do you just sort of sit back and, I don't know, maybe coach a little bit less? Yeah. It's a weird question. Sorry.
No point. I think it's important, even within, the lead, having a big lead like that. I think it's just important to continue to coach everyone. I think in those moments, obviously, there's some players who maybe don't get as much time, but also some players who you want to catch rhythm and just get in a groove. And so, no matter what point of the game it is, I think it's important to continue to coach and to teach and to guide in a way, but also for the players to feel confident in what they do on both ends of the floor.
Gotcha. And then just wanted to ask, just what was it about the Mystics that you decided to bring out that like Twin Towers lineup with both Ezzy and Russell early in the game?
M loves calling that lineup the Twin Towers. I don't know if it's more the Mystics more so than liking how Mercedes was defending, liking what she was doing on offense, and just wanting to get Ezzy within the rotation. And because of both of their the presence, their agility to defend multiple positions, I think we're okay with it. We are able to rebound. We're able to get out and run. And so it doesn't really hurt us when we have an opportunity to still be productive on both ends of the floor.
All right, and I think we fixed the audio issues. Jeff, why don't you try it out? We'll see if it's working now.
Hey, Coach. In the third quarter, you guys outscored them 28-16, and Jewell had 12 points in that quarter. How important was that to just kind of close the door on the Mystics, just in the to begin the second half, and then just talk about Jewell's performance today?
I watched Washington come back on Minnesota, and the message at halftime was the first 5 minutes are important of this quarter. And I think that was kind of our mindset in the third quarter. We've been in a lot of games this year that our third quarters have been difficult, or within the course of the game, we've lost leads or had to work our way out of a hole. But this was important for us to maintain the lead, maintain our focus, stay sharp, and I thought that we executed really well in the third. Jewell, I'll continue to talk about her defense. We put her on cloud today. She's pressuring up the floor. She does, the intangibles on defense. She's playing hard defensively, and then it translates over to her offense, getting some leak outs. Some buckets. I thought that maybe some bunnies she missed, but I just the defensive aggression sets the tone for us, and it's something that is helping us on that side of the ball, but also giving us just a lot of momentum in for the entire game.
And then Sue Bird scored 14 points in the first half. How much does her being aggressive on offense and looking for her own shot open up everything else for everyone else?
It's super important for Sue to not only distribute for us, but like you're saying, to be aggressive. When she looks for her shot, then pick and roll reads become different, because when she's aggressive, teams have to honor that. Obviously, we know she is a absolute shot maker in this league. So it's good to see the ball go through the hoop for her as well. But when Sue's aggressive and when she's flowing and hitting shots, we're a more dynamic team in that way.
And then with Stewie's injury, was that non-contact? Because it at least on the TV copy, did not look like she rolled her ankle on anyone else's foot.
Jeff, I haven't seen the play, and I'm not sure if it was, because there was I think it was a low shot clock at that time. Their offensive scheme or set was a little bit like a line, so I'm not sure what happened honestly in that play.
Okay, no problem. And then just last one for me. Obviously, this is the best game you guys have played probably since the Commissioner's Cup. How important is it to kind of finish this season with these kind of games and that kind of momentum heading into the playoffs?
Very important. We talk about it. I think, especially for right now, it's important to be playing at a certain level. And right before Olympic break, we were playing at that level. And so it's good to I know we went through some adversity, some ups and downs, but these games coming up, it's important to play at a high level and understand win, lose, draw, whatever happens. There's a standard that we have to get to and maintain, and that's the most important thing as we go into the postseason.
Awesome. Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, Jeff.
All right, thanks, Jeff. We're going to wrap up with Coach Quinn. Thank you very much. We'll have our players joining us here shortly. Will be Sue Bird, Jewell Loyd, and Katie Lou Samuelson. Thanks everybody again for joining us. We're gonna get started with Jewell Loyd and Katie Lou Samuelson, and Sue Bird will be joining us here shortly. Let's go ahead and open it up first to just some quick questions here in people in attendance. Percy.
I know. I was like, I know. I was like, I can't see. Sorry.
Hey guys, for either Jewell or Lou, just if you could take us through that first quarter, just that first minute. Guys were down 3-zip, and then you hit them with that 20-6 run. Just what happened there? It just seemed like it was a lot of turnovers, a lot of fast breaks, and a lot of three-pointers.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. I think we just really got going defensively, and when we get going with our defense, it leads into easy buckets for us. That's what we like to play.
Was the game plan to be intentional in zoning in on Tina Charles in the middle there? Last time she was here, she scored 34. Tonight she had 4.
Yeah, I think, definitely was to try to crowd her as much as possible. Sadie's did a great job of forcing her away from her spots. And then, we had a lot of different matchups and trying to go from our help and things like that. But I think our first key was to try to crowd the three-point line too. Because last time they were here, they just, they didn't miss. So I think communication was a big part of tonight's win.
And then just how important is it to get a win like this, probably one of the best wins of the season, with 2 or 3 games left before the playoffs?
It's important. I think we all know that we want to be playing our best basketball as this season ends, and so having a great game like this is good for all of us to just have a feel-good game every once in a while, and then we'll get back to it and move on to the next one and see what our matchups are. It did.
Okay, I was curious when.
This was more fun.
Yeah. I mean, what's that like to be out there, the two of you on a WNBA court together? And when was the last time before that you played together?
So we actually played overseas together this past season, but it's different being in this setting. I don't think we would have ever thought that we would end up on the same WNBA team, and so it's been really cool to just have this whole experience and kind of how it just all came together. It's been a lot of fun. I did not see, actually.
We'll know more in the next couple days.
Okay, thanks.
All right, thanks, Kevin. And let's go to Jeff Brown. Jeff, go ahead with your question.
Hey, Jewell. So in the third quarter, you guys outscored them by 12, and you had 12 points in that quarter. What was kind of the mindset coming out of halftime?
I really just wanted to settle in. I think I rushed a couple shots early on. We've been having a lot of great looks as a team and moving the ball really well and just staying active. I think that's kind of our key right now, is staying active on both ends of the floor and letting the ball find the right person, and you're able to execute a lot of things today.
And then do you take more pride in leading the team in scoring with the 20 points tonight, or holding Natasha Cloud to 6 points?
My defense.
There you go. And then Katie Lou, Sue was fantastic early in this game. She had 14 points in the first half. When she's kind of being aggressive, looking for her own shot, how much does that open up, the court and everything for you guys offensively?
It opens up a lot. Yeah, when Sue is attacking, playing the way she has been, it's easy for us to read off of her when she is aggressive like that, but it's also the flow of the game. And so, Sue does what she does and puts us and herself in the best possible situation. And today that was coming out being aggressive right from the start.
And then last one for me, for either of you guys, the improved 3-point shooting and shooting in general tonight. You guys shot almost 60%. Would you credit that to just the extra rest you've gotten and extra practice time, or was there anything like specific drills in practice that really helped with that?
Well, we do a lot of shooting games, and I think making it fun for us has helped us. And we all like to shoot, so we put a lot of emphasis on that in practice, and I think that's kind of helped us. And we just try to be like Sue.
Right on cue. Let's go to M, and then we'll open it back up for questions for Sue.
Hey, I'll give it a second. Want to start off with a question for Jewell. I just was wondering what the sort of difference in feel between this game and prior games was when she was maybe a little colder. Was it just more rest? Was it just shots going in more today?
I think just staying confident. I trust the preparation for every game and staying out of the same routine. And like I said, I think being active on both ends of the floor has kind of helped me kind of my groove, but also having great teammates constantly telling me to shoot and be in my ear and making sure that I'm still engaged on both sides. So thanks to them.
Great. And then I just wanted to ask Samuelson. Three-point shooting has been really good as of lately. With the volume ticking up. I was just wondering, have you become more comfortable in the lineups in terms that has helped the shooting? Is it just getting the ball sink through the hoop helping? I can't hear.
Repeat the beginning part of the question.
Sure. No. I was saying after another 2 for 5 tonight, both your volume and your accuracy from three has been improving a lot lately. I know Jewell just talked about the team getting better from three. I was just wondering what for you has helped in terms of that comfort.
Just when you play and when you are a shooter, you just keep shooting no matter what. There's going to be ups and downs always, and so you just gotta keep shooting.
Great, thank you.
All right, we'll go ahead and go back around real quick if you have a question for Sue specifically.
For Sue, yeah. Hey Sue, just early in the game during the 20-6 run, I believe you scored 9 points there. You had 14 points in the first half. Were you intentionally trying to be aggressive? It just looked like you had one of those no-nonsense approach out there.
Truthfully, it wasn't intentional in that I didn't go out there thinking, oh, let me try to, shoot as much as I can. I think, if I were to describe the last 2 or 3 weeks, I think this team has just been kind of going through it, kind of, in the mud a little bit, had some tough losses. And I think we've all been waiting for the day where we could finally get over the hump. And, I don't know what to attribute it to. Maybe it is the time at home, getting, being able to rest, being able to kind of recover from the last couple of weeks. For myself, having the Olympics and then coming right back into the season. Sometimes I think I even forget that I'm 40 years old. So I think, whatever it was, I think we were all kind of waiting to get over the hump here. And today just felt like the energy was a little different. And sometimes you have to go through that as a team, individually, collectively. You got to go through a little adversity to come out on the other side and exhale. And today felt like a big exhale. But as far as the shots dropping, they just did. I wasn't doing anything special. I don't think anybody was today. We had a different energy about us. And usually in basketball, good things happen when you have that kind of energy.
And it seems obvious, but how different is this team when you're getting steals, when you're playing that sort of frantic defense that you guys like to play, and hitting threes on top of that?
Yeah, I actually referenced our identity post-game in the interview with Dick and Elise, and I think that is our identity, trying to create opportunities for us in transition, which starts on our defense. And then, if we can find each other from the, outside the three-point line, that plays right into our hands. That's what we want to do. But I think we're the type of team that when we get going in transition, it really it relaxes us, it opens things up, and we like to run and hopefully play with a certain pace that eventually wears teams down.
Did you see anything when Stewie went down and left the game?
I can't hear you.
Did you see anything when Stewie went out of the game?
No, I actually didn't see what happened. I just turned and she kind of had a look on her face, like a uh-oh look. So obviously we're all hoping that she's okay.
Thanks.
All right, thanks, Kevin. We'll go back to Jeff Brown real quick. Jeff,
really
go
hard
ahead.
to hear.
There we go, unmuted. Sue, did Stewie talk to you at all while she was on the bench there after the potential injury?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Let's see. as far, this was probably your best, well, I would say this is definitely your best game since, not just you personally, but as a team, since the Commissioner's Cup. How important is it to kind of get back on that, right track, especially as we're, your guys are so close to the playoffs now?
Yeah, I mean, I think I said that, in media availability a couple weeks. Hi. See you later. I think I said that a couple weeks ago in media availability that, as crazy as it might sound, I was less concerned with the losses, with the wins and the losses, with trying to finish first or second. I was less concerned with that and more concerned with us just getting back to who we are, getting back to playing a good brand of basketball. Because that's all that matters. All that matters is playing well. I mean, look at teams right now, like the Phoenix Mercury is a great example. Nothing matters prior to what's happening right now. And they're playing clearly a good brand of basketball that's gotten them on their win streak. So we just needed to get back to that. And so that's how today felt. It felt like a step in that direction.
And then with Stewie having in the limited minutes, I thought both Mercedes and Ezzy really stepped up in this game. Ezzy had the 15 points, Mercedes 11. Just talk about the job they did, not just offensively, but also defensively against Tina Charles.
Yeah, they did a great job. Tina's a handful. I know she's been in and out of the lineup a little bit with some injuries, but regardless, she's a tough matchup. They both played well offensively, but I really think Mercedes early on with her aggressiveness set a tone. A lot of times the way teams guard us, they really they pay a lot of attention to Stewie. So when we run pick and rolls and Stewie's rolling, a lot of times people turn their heads or even leave Sadie's. And I thought today Sadie's did a great job of finding her spots, getting the ball, and attacking the rim. I think anybody who watched this game could easily pinpoint that, especially in the first half. Just Sadie's taking it right to the basket, and that really changed things. It really opens things up for everybody.
Definitely. Thank you, Sue.
No
Thanks,
problem.
Jeff. And M. Adler, why don't you go ahead, M?
Hey, just wanted to ask a quick question. Sometime early in the game, you hit like one of your first threes was a quick relocation from like the key to the corner. I was wondering. I know you get a lot of your like 3-point shots off like boomerang actions or off split offs. Just wondering how you decide how to attack for quick relocations versus those different sort of approaches.
Yeah. I mean, I don't use that terminology, but yeah, I mean, listen, I'm playing with some of the best players in the game right now. You have players like Stewie, players like Jewell, even, with Lou, Sadie's, I can go down the list. They're going to draw attention. And for me, given that I am a capable 3-point shooter, you have to be able to move without the ball and get into those open spots because they're going to draw defenses. They're going to draw help. They're going to draw a lot of attention. And so for me, it's always about relocating. I think it's something that I've really dedicated a lot of my off-season work to, just constantly be on the move, constantly get a feel for that. And that's how I get a lot of my open threes. I mean, it's actually, to be honest, it's not about making them. Okay. It's less about me making or taking threes. The amount isn't really the point. I can tell how our offense is flowing if I get those opportunities. Because if I am getting those opportunities, it means things are happening within our offense. So like I said, I just stay moving constantly off the ball to try to get myself open. In the event they do double team Stewie. In the event, it was Lou who drove the lane, drew the defense and was able to kick. So you just have to keep yourself available. Jenny Busek, when she was here, she would always say, "You're open but not available." And I think that just has been pounded into my head. Because a lot of times you might be open, but are you available? And that availability part, that's the part where you got to move.
Fantastic. Thank you.
No problem.
All right, thanks, Sue. Appreciate it. Thanks, everybody, for joining us.